Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. It's very nice of you to include Explore Tulsa as part of your Memorial Day weekend.
As we honor those who served our country by giving their lives for our freedom.
Stevie, did you know that right around the corner from us on 71st Street is an incredible museum housing all sorts of amazing art and history?
Yes, I did. And it's also where you can see Jews rock.
Stevie, I know you're just trying to be nice in your own way, but it's not really politically correct for you to say something like that.
No, Trish. Jews Rock is one of the newest exhibits at the Sherwin-Miller Museum of Jewish Art.
There's a lot to see. Most people don't realize it when they come down 71st, but there's really a lot to see here at the museum.
The inspiration for the opening of the first gallery was a traveling exhibit that came to Tulsa from the Jewish Museum in New York, traditional ceremonial art. That really inspired the founders of the museum to begin collecting Judaica. Judaica tends to tell the story of Jewish culture and heritage, really even more so than religious practices. The Judaica is based on religious practices, but it tells a much broader story.
Well, I think what I've seen in my life as a member of the Tulsa community is that when people come to a place like our museum, they're generally surprised at the depth and of the cultural experience.
When you first walk in, we have our Sanditon Gallery, which focuses on our permanent collection, our fine art. Sometimes we have Agams, we have Chagall's, Lichtensteins, Warhols. Anything that really gets people excited is going to be in that very first gallery.
In the lobby of the museum, we have 3 large stained glass windows from early 20th century synagogue that was raised for urban development. The windows came to us in pieces and were restored by Kimberly Studio in Dallas. The first one is certified Tiffany. The other 2, the artist is unknown, but they are scenes from, biblical scenes from the Bible.
On the opposite side is our permanent Holocaust exhibit, and this is very powerful. It's a lot of artifacts that came from Europe, from Oklahoma soldiers who fought in World War II, but they donated them to the museum so we could teach that lesson to people and make sure that never happened again.
The first thing you see when you enter the Holocaust exhibit is a Ku Klux Klan robe to show what hate and bigotry can lead to. And it's a very important part of Holocaust education is to teach that.
As you come to our second floor, we have our permanent Jewish museum and our life cycles, where you're going to see more of our permanent collection, a lot of the Judaica, a lot of the cultural and the religious items, and also things that go back thousands of years in our archaeology section. And then you're going to get back here where we have our temporary gallery, and it changes 4 times a year, and so every time you come it's going to be completely different. This exhibit came from us just in-house. We actually built this and thought about the ideas, and so we dove into pop culture and what would be fun and exciting for people to come to the museum. And so we had this crazy idea of just having a rock and roll exhibit, but focus on the Jewish musicians that make up pop culture and music for the past 5 decades.
They go to the Holocaust Gallery because there's things there that they're not going to see anywhere else, and everybody wants to have some understanding of how that evil happened. But when they come up here to the second floor into our life, parts of our Jewish cultural life, they tend to say, "Oh, that's interesting," and so they want to know, and our archaeological section, there's a lot of people who have both a historical and an academic interest in our collection.
I think the one takeaway that we all hope is people walk away and just with that statement of, wow, I didn't know that. Walking through saying, I didn't realize that part was Jewish. I didn't realize that symbol meant something. I didn't know this musician was Jewish. And they just come away, even if it's just one thing, if we teach them one thing when they come in here that they didn't understand about the Jewish history and culture, then we've completely succeeded.